Protect your car with 3W Liners all-weather floor mats. Made from durable materials like TPE and rubber, our mats are designed to withstand rain, snow, and mud with deep grooves to trap dirt and liquids. For a custom fit and advanced protection, visit 3W Liners. That's the number 3, WLINERS.com today. At Acasis, innovation drives us. Since 2008, we've been creating cutting-edge technology products that make your life easier. With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit Acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com. Unlock a world of convenience with Mully Box, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. From gourmet snacks to unique finds, each box is tailored to your tastes. Experience the joy of surprises. Subscribe today at mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com. We are Rogue Media Sports.
It is the Cam Show. It's Rogue Media Sports Network. live every day at high noon Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Cam Stewart, Zach Burke keeping us on the air. Yeah, it's still me. Still me. No more of the baby curls. Exactly, 23 and a half hours after Pete gave me such a great compliment, talked about how great my long hair looked. It's gone. It's gone. I feel a little bit lighter, a little bit colder, and look a little bit more cancer-y, if we're being honest. I will show you that I do have some hair on the sides, but it's a lot less to deal with. So that's probably for the best. We'll hear from Zach later on in this show. We've got a big one for you today. We're talking some Patriots. We've been targeting so much Patriots offseason stuff, but this one is a trade that I've heard a little bit about as kind of a conspiracy theory, thought about a little bit last night, and it's not as crazy as I initially thought. And that always makes for the best kind of off-season trade rumor content. Speaking of trades, Brad Marchand thinks he's not going to get traded. We'll tell you why he thinks that and how much of a possibility that actually is. Plus, we've also got 4 nations facing off. Starting tonight, Canada, Sweden, before the U.S. gets their lid lifter tomorrow against Finland, and it all builds up to Saturday. Zach and I have been building that up quite a bit, so we're going to have to take a look at kind of the pre-tournament predictions that we've got that's coming up later in the show. It's all on the Cam Show. It's all live here on YouTube, high noon Eastern time every weekday, starting with the Patriots. Now, we've said it before on the Cam Show. We will say it again. This is no hot take. This is a fascinating offseason for the Patriots. In fact, I think it was Adam Schefter who put out the big listicle, the big top 5 most intriguing offseason teams this year. And the Patriots, of course, no doubt were in that. I think they were 4th. But any way you cut it, they are one of the most intriguing teams to look at. They're horrible. They have a bunch of money to spend, and they have a top 5 draft pick and a good, young, cheap quarterback. That makes for a very intriguing offseason. And a new coach, too. That's like the 4th thing down on the list. And then, behind that is the fact that they used to be really good. I'm old enough to remember that. They used to be really, really good. Now they suck. And they have all these options at their disposal. But what's going to fascinate me is how they handle free agency, not just because of the cap space that they have. We know they're going to spend money. They've got plenty of it. They're going to overpay. It's not just that. It's this uncertainty around the number 4 pick. And this is why we were begging the Patriots to lose that final game and just have the number 1 pick. And if you have the number 1 pick, the worst case scenario was you just pick the guy you wanted at 1. The best case was probably going to be doing a Jason Tatum deal with the Sixers that the Celtics did in 2017. The Celtics were going to draft Jason Tatum all the way through. They bluffed their way all the way through this. They were going to draft him. He's the only one of those guys they liked. And they ended up getting to trade back with Philly and getting extra picks in order to pick the guy that they wanted. And even if Markelle Fultz was a good player, but he ends up being a total bust. That's the scenario the Patriots are going to be in. Worst case, okay, you pick Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter. But chances are you were probably going to get one of those guys at 3. Instead, you dropped to 4. So I'm saying you could have traded back to 2 or 3 for whoever wanted their quarterback. Or one of those 2 guys that you liked less, either Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter. But someone around 4 or 5 would be willing to trade up to 1 or 2 or even 3, potentially, with how that draft order shook out, to get a quarterback. And the worst case scenario was you just drafted your guy at 1. Instead, you got the worst case scenario. You dropped down to the lowest pick that you could have after week 18, which is pick 4. And there's really no guarantee that either of those guys are going to be there, Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter, because now there's serious momentum for both those guys to be taken in the top 3. Of course, if you ask Carter, he says he's going to be taking number 1, which isn't the craziest thing I've ever heard. So now what do? Now what position are you chasing more than the other, so to speak, in free agency? You've got about 4 or 5 positions you need to chase through the draft and free agency. But if I'm looking at Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter as my options, I'm thinking, okay, am I going heavier wide receiver in the free agent market, which that's going to have the most, plug and play ready names? Or am I looking more towards edge rusher, pass rusher? Because those were two things that the Patriots were just dreadful at last year. Worst separation in the league, worst sack rate in the league. Right there. They will look at tackles in free agency, I think, and at other points in the draft. I don't think this is the draft where you use the number 4 pick on a tackle. Maybe there's a move where you even move back and get another pick. And like, I'm willing to hear that out, but I think the 4 pick is a premium. Either you are using it to draft a top of the line prospect like Hunter or Carter, or you're trading it for an established star. Because now here's where it gets interesting. Who would you actually trade the number 4 overall pick for? There are a couple big names out there on the trading block. Deebo Samuel's now one of them. No way. There's no way he's going to get that kind of price from anybody. No first round pick, let alone number 4. So that's off the list. Plus, I don't know if Deebo Samuel's the guy you want in New England. If we're being totally honest, like I can use similar draft capital to go get Cooper Kupp, who's 2 years older but doesn't have the injury history and is coming off a productive season and doesn't have the baggage that has come with Deebo Samuel the past year and a half. Deebo's numbers are going down, man. I know he didn't play a ton this year, but that 2021 season that was so off the charts good with the 1,800 or so all-purpose yards of scrimmage, that's done. Man, that is done. He did get 670 in 15 games this past year. He got 14. That was receiving yards. 1,400 yards in 16 games in 2021. He had 670. He had less than half of that in 15 games this year. One less game. It's just not the same player. Whereas Cooper Kupp, probably not the MVP Cooper Kupp from, what was that same year? 21, 22? But still a damn productive player. And like I have to be fair, because I said the same thing about Cooper Kupp, that Deebo Samuel would be, I think, second on your team in receiving yards this past year if he was on it. So fair enough. But the injuries, always something nagging, has clearly wanted to force his way out of San Francisco big time. I don't know how a guy like that reacts to a rebuild situation. I don't think that's a place that he's gonna want to go. So I would prefer Cooper Kupp in that to Deebo Samuel, but you also definitely need like an outside guy. Anyway, I don't think they're using that 4 pick on Ted McMillan. I doubt it. Here's where it gets interesting though for the Patriots, because there's another name that's being thrown into the trade block here. One that no one expected. Makes some sense from his team's perspective because of the hell they've put themselves in. But if Micah Parsons is actually available, I think there's no doubt you would trade the number 4 overall pick for him. Like, no doubt. He's probably the best defensive player in football, if not right there in the top 3. You want to still say Myles Garrett, sure. Defensive player of the year last year, could have won it again this year. You want to say TJ Watt, probably obviously a lot less left in the tank than Micah Parsons, but sure, he's earned that kind of right. But for my money, Micah Parsons is right there. I mean, you want to talk about just a game wrecker. He is a game massacrer, a game murderer, okay? He will blow up any game plan, and he has done for years now. I love Abdul Carter. I love being able to get him at 4 if you can, who is kind of quote unquote the next Micah Parsons. And we've talked about it on this show, kind of the way he relates to him in his game. But we say this with prospects all the time. Like, you're hoping Abdul Carter becomes Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is Micah Parsons. And he's what, 24? Like, that is no doubt to me. Like, he's the best defensive player kind of all told in football. Maybe not, he didn't win defensive player of the year, but he is, for my money, the best defensive player in football. And you want to talk about an alpha, a marketable star, a guy you just put in there, and he is the face of your, at least, defense. This is the dude. And what some people are calling a down season, by the way, he's 25. He's going to turn 26 this year. So I got that wrong. He's born the same day Manchester United won their treble. I won't hold that against him. He still had 12 sacks this year and a couple forced fumbles. And what was kind of a down year, I say a down year, not that he was bad, but he got more attention than anyone than he ever has, right? But this is a guy who's double-digit sacks every year he's been in the league. 13, 13 and a half, 14, 12. Forces fumbles, wreaks havoc, good in run support. Like, the dude is a menace, an absolute menace. This is the only season this year that he didn't go over 60 tackles, and it's because he played in 13 games. He very rarely misses time. The only knock against him is he's got a podcast. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I did a lot of Cowboys coverage working in Central Texas this past football season. It got kind of weird that the team was spiraling out of control and he was doing a podcast about it every week. But, like, that's what you're going to hold the guy back for? He's not a locker room cancer. He doesn't seem to be a big issue. His family, well, yeah, they can be a little vocal. But if that's the only knock against Micah Parsons, I would absolutely trade the number 4 pick in the draft for him. No question. If you are the Patriots, you are chasing every position but quarterback. You need foundational pieces. And sure, there are ways to get that in the top 5 picks of the NFL draft. But this guy is already one. And the Cowboys, it's not that stunning when you really think about it because they have put themselves in a hell of a bind here. Like, really looking down the barrel when they signed Dak Prescott to the richest contract a quarterback has ever gotten this past year. And they felt like they had to. They were backed in a corner. It was the great NFL fallacy, right? Of, is he a great quarterback who's going to win you Super Bowls? Probably not. I think he's shown you as much. But he's just good enough. You can't quit on him because you know the premium that position comes with. And the Cowboys have been in that limbo for now close to 20 years between Romo and Dak. But you pay him, as the richest quarterback in football, CeeDee Lamb, the second richest wide receiver in football. You're paying Micah Parsons too. That's not how the salary cap works. You can't make all 3 the top 2 highest paid at their position. You can't do it. And the most valuable trade asset they have is Micah Parsons. And maybe, just maybe, the most valuable, actually viable trade chip in all of the National Football League. A stud defensive end or linebacker, a pass rusher, who is just about to enter into his prime, who you can play all 4 downs. He's probably the best defensive player in the league. So I know there are other rumors floating around about like A.J. Brown or DK Metcalf or even Myles Garrett. I mean, I don't think it's the craziest offer to think about the number 4 pick for Myles Garrett. But if you're comparing these one-on-one, like, let's just say they're both available, and obviously they would both take that pick. I'm talking about the Cowboys and the Browns with Parsons and Garrett. Let's just say, all things being equal, they'll both take that number 4 pick for their pass rusher. One is 29 and the other is 26. Easy math. Like, easy math there. And I really like Myles Garrett. He's a guy who actually doesn't come with a headache unless your name is Mason Rudolph. And he seems like just a really good example and good leader, but his team is a mess. I don't know what the leadership skills are of Micah Parsons because, he doesn't need to necessarily be a huge leader on that team, but there's no headache, it seems. He's the best trade chip that anyone has in the whole league. If I were the Patriots, I would do that in a second. In a second, I would trade that number 4 pick for Micah Parsons, especially the environment that it is now. With all the rumors you're hearing about these other teams drafting ahead of you, I doubt Travis Hunter is going to be there. And there's a real world where Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter are both not there. And then what are you doing? Ted McMillan? Will Campbell, a guy who might be a guard? Kelvin Banks? Good player. Good tackle. But you're talking about a guy who might go at 8 or 9, and you're taking him at 4. That's a big difference in the top 10. So you can get the pass rusher from Michigan. But there's no option anywhere in the draft like Micah Parsons. I would trade maybe the number 1 pick in the draft for Micah Parsons. So if you're the Cowboys, who have drafted well for the most part the last decade here, that's what makes this story about them so fascinating, why they can't get over the hump / sucked this year, is that they have drafted well. They have gotten good value out of their drafts. And if you trust your scouting department, Jera, why don't you go and get that number 4 pick and not hit the complete reset button here, which is what you're on the peak of doing anyway. If that is a viable option, a real option on the table, and the Cowboys aren't just bluffing, I would absolutely throw the 4th pick in the draft for him if I'm the Patriots, no doubt, and figure out the rest. Obviously that'll be part of your free agency. You'll want to extend him, and then go out and get Cooper Kupp and whatever. Maybe you're able to swing some deals and get another pick in the first round, and then maybe you draft Will Campbell in the teens. There's a world where that happens, where you send a couple extra picks to Dallas and get their first round pick, and you switch with them. I think that would be the perfect scenario. And as tough as the Cowboys are in terms of an organization, will they get bluffed into doing that? That remains to be seen. But to me, that's a win-win for both teams. As much of a win-win as it can be for a team that's trading Micah Parsons, right? Like, I'm not saying, oh yeah, big victory, you traded Micah. But if they're really staring down the barrel here, that's an option, that becomes, I think, a big-time win-win for you. You can get the number 4 pick. You can dramatically improve your first-round pick. Probably get another good pick somewhere in there, maybe a 2 or a couple of 2s later on. And you start this rebuild without really resetting and trying to get some impact guys in there right now who can coexist with your richest quarterback in the league and second richest wide receiver in the league, coexist contract-wise. And the Patriots get the best defensive player in the league. And they start winning Super Bowls again. At least that's how I see it. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I think this is a no-brainer if you're the Patriots. If Micah Parsons is actually on the trading block, that becomes the question. That becomes the real question. Be sure to like and subscribe on the video. We're live at high noon Eastern time every day, bringing you fresh Boston sports takes and news every weekday, high noon Eastern time on YouTube, and then wherever you get your podcasts. The Cam Show is going to roll on. We're going to talk about a different kind of trade. Brad Marchand, is he actually on his way out of Boston? He doesn't think so. That's next on The Cam Show.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. Unlock a world of convenience with MullyBox, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. Each box is tailored to your taste. Experience the joy of surprises. Subscribe today at mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com. Unlock your full potential with Onnit, your go-to for premium supplements, fitness gear, and wellness essentials. Whether you're training hard, recovering faster, or just looking to feel your best, Onnit has the tools you need to perform at your peak. Visit Onnit, that's ONNIT.com, and elevate your mind, body, and spirit today. At Rolls Rolla, we don't just sell wallpaper, we create cohesive, cozy spaces. Our deep understanding of design means every pattern, color, and texture is carefully chosen to complement your home. Plus, we use advanced technology and water-based inks for vibrant, eco-friendly prints, ensuring a healthier environment. Visit rollsrolla.com to transform your space today. That's ROLLSROLLA.com today.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious. Find your blend at hempdelicious.com.
At Tusane's, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Committed to excellence, we adopt a user-centric approach guided by ergonomics and medical science. With a team of seasoned professionals in R&D, design, and manufacturing, we prioritize quality across our entire product line. Visit Tusanes.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com.
Ready to bring your vision to life? At Small Rig, every idea, design, and product is inspired by you, the creator. With our industry-first under co-design mode and the Dream Rig free customization project, we unite with global creators to turn big dreams into reality. Whether it's a cage rig or mount, Small Rig's versatile gear is built to elevate your craft. Small Rig, where your creativity meets our innovation. Go to smallrig.com.
Calling all Marvel fans, get Marvel Unlimited and unlock over 30,000 comics featuring your favorite heroes and iconic stories, all available to read anytime, anywhere. Whether you're into classic tales or the latest adventures, there's something for everyone. Don't miss out. Head to marvel.com/unlimited today and start your Marvel journey now. At Angel Bliss, we believe every parent's journey is a beautiful adventure. Our mission is to make it joyful and stress-free with thoughtful, safe, and innovative products. Born from a love for family, we promise peace of mind for parents and comfort for babies. From playtime to bedtime, every Angel Bliss product is designed with care, reliability, and a style to nurture the special bond between parent and child. Angel Bliss, creating happy memories, one baby at a time. Visit us at angelbliss.us. Angel Bliss.
Cam Stewart here on the Cam Show. Zach Burke here as well. Isn't that right, Zach? Aren't you here as well?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yo, fuck Cam.
There's Pete too.
All right. This was a children's show until Pete came along. Whatever. Asshole. Today would have been a good day to have Pete on to talk about the trailer release of this Bill Simmons Celtics documentary.
Oh, I did that come out today or did that come out last night?
The trailer came maybe it was last night. I saw it this morning.
I need to. Well, it's funny you say that. On my drive in, oddly enough, I live kind of in the Hewitt neighborhood, which you know, and then nobody else probably understands that. But
Nobody
saw a guy jogging this morning on my way in, Celtics beanie out, and I was like, well, that's an odd thing for somebody to wear. So it was already on my mind. Now I know I have a Bill,
especially since it's 65 degrees. Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. Well, he had like a full on like A&M hoodie too, so it's like it did not match the maroon and the green. But
oh yeah, that's a tough color clash right there.
It is. And I'm
Rob
sitting
Williams,
here thinking,
man.
like, I don't know of a single Aggie that has played for Boston too. It's not like Chris Middleton.
Rob Williams, dude.
Oh no, okay.
Time Lord.
That's true. Never mind. Forgot
Maybe
about
he's
that.
probably listening to Simmons too.
Maybe he was. Maybe he was so amped after seeing the trailer, he had to throw on the beanie when he went out walking this morning.
Dude, I hope that's what the next episode's about. Like, there's nothing better than when Simmons is just cooking with like a good Celtics topic, or even like the Luka trade. He did a emergency 1 hour show with Russillo, and I'm like, this is the bag. Like, this is it right here. This is awesome. I brought you on to say that Angel Bliss commercial.
Yeah.
They say porn. It really sounds like Mike says porn.
Here's the thing. I watched that and I was thinking to myself, I know that Cam loves this commercial. Every time I feel like every time it plays, you make a comment. Something about Mike says.
Something. It just sounds a lot like he's saying porn.
I think that his B's and his P's just sound very close. It just makes that similar kind of, and then obviously the Orn sounds the same. So
has Mike Dunn ever like
porn? I don't know.
Well, he could do that. Mike takes good care of himself.
He does.
Has he ever done like extensive voice acting? He's the voice, by the way, you hear on pretty much all the commercials for people watching.
I don't think so, but I mean, he has a good voice for it. But I
think he would be good. See, this is like I've thought about this when I started like YouTube channels in the past. Like my voice, I think sucks.
Yeah,
it's fun. Thank
no,
you.
I'm not saying that.
No,
I didn't mean that like a you. I was saying I understand what you're saying, not that I think your voice sucks.
Like I know everyone hates listening to themselves, but I just genuinely think my voice is like not good for voiceover stuff. Like if we're doing this, it's fine. But I think Mike can do both.
Yeah, no, I agree. I used to work with a guy that I would get upset is the wrong way to say it, but when I worked at the radio station where he would do like regional ad reads for like car companies and stuff. So it was like, it wasn't full national yet, but some of them were, but he'd have that voice that, he would just turn it on and go into it and it'd make you want to buy an Acura. And then he would just turn it off and go back into whatever. And I'd be like, come on, man.
Dude, it's such a gift.
It is.
Like, obviously you got to play your cards right to make a real living off it.
Oh yeah.
But think of just all the like expendable income you can have, like the supplemental income you can do just by having a good voice.
We had
it takes a lot to get rich off it, but think of like that guy at the radio station who's probably the only one who could do it. Every radio station has one guy who does everything, and like you just charge for it and you're good, man.
Well, or if you're
now you do it big time on like online, you can get hired to do like, hey, here's an AI script, but the AI voices suck. And you just do this script.
Exactly.
And we'll pay you $30, $50, $100. Like
what it used to be, and I don't know if it was the same for you, but if you were an ESPN affiliate, they had a guy who was their voice guy. And like once a month, you would send off like a sheet. It was double spaced. Like you had to have it in all caps. And it was like 75 for the sheet. And he would just send you back like your 4-minute file of reading everything you wanted. And I always thought because he was a really nice guy. Like I had to call and like talk to him stuff. And both he and his wife did stuff like that. And it wasn't just for ESPN. Like they did it for
I guess it's a huge business, dude.
Exactly. And that's all he did is he would just read what people like mailed him in for like $75 a page. And that's what they lived off of. And it was good.
God, that's such a good living, man.
Yeah.
What a life, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But I can never have that. We can never have that.
We can never have that. Yeah.
I think there's a right niche for your voice. I don't know if you can get big time, but you could have a nice niche for it.
I just need like
I think Mike is the only one in our studio.
No, I need something regional because the accent's going to slip out sometimes. And it'll be like, oh, I need something that'll be like, oh, that's charming. Not like, listen to that Hicks tell me something.
I'll bet Scotty could do some.
Scotty does have a decent
he does have the accent as well, but that's fine. Like you can live off that.
Yeah, you can. Matthew McConaughey's done it for a while. So
yeah, Matthew McConaughey. Anyway, speaking of Matthew McConaughey, how about Brad Marchand, man? Is that a good enough segue for you?
Yeah, works for me.
So the Bruins are on the clock now when it comes to the trade deadline. Everyone is, right? But we're now in the Four Nations break. That's kind of the next thing in this NHL season is the trade deadline. And I said on the show yesterday, the Bruins have to be sellers. Have to be sellers. If you missed that, check out the segment I did on it on the YouTube feed. They have to be sellers at this trade deadline. There's no real options where you're like, oh yeah, well if they do this, they can be buyers, or if they play well in the 2 or 3 games between that. It's like, no, there's nothing they're going to show you in the 2 weeks from the restart to the trade deadline that's going to be like, oh, I feel differently about this team. I'll buying into this team. I'll keep them all here, potentially let them walk for free in the offseason because I believe so much in these guys right now. There's nothing they can do. And so the hot rumor that's been thrown around the last couple of weeks, maybe some of the last couple of months, is Brad Marchand being traded. I did another segment on this a couple of weeks ago. Definitely recommend checking that out as well. There are plenty of teams out there that need a winger who can score and play special teams, play penalty kill and power play with winning experience that have draft capital to trade for Brad Marchand. There are plenty of teams out there, right? And I think Vegas feels like a good fit. He and Cassidy love each other. Vegas has some capital. They can move around. Minnesota was another team they were looking at with Kaprizov out for a while. Someone you can add in relatively cheaply. I think you can get by some teams a first round pick. I really do. It's not going to be a top 10, but I think you can get some first round picks or a first round pick from some of these playoff teams. Brad Marchand though is not thinking about that. He was on the What Chaos podcast with DJ Bean and Pete Blackburn. They do an awesome kind of national hockey show, but a couple of Boston guys, they did an exclusive. They did a one-on-one with Brad Marchand during the Four Nations Media Day in Boston. And here's what Marchand had to say about the trade rumors with his name.
I'm not worried about trade rumors. That's just fans, I think, having fun with it all.
It's never been realistic that you'd be traded, and you've always been signed. You've signed at the beginning of your walk year. This year, on paper, it is realistic. Or it's more realistic.
Yeah, and I think that's obviously when things aren't going well with your group or going the way that I think it was expected to go. That's what happens, right? These conversations start to come up more and more in the media, and articles come out, and you can't worry about things you can't control and that you don't have a part in. But yeah, I could see, with the way that on paper it looks at, this time of year, that's what people do. They start looking at potential outcomes and stuff like that. I get it.
How would you feel if you were traded?
How would obviously, it would be very weird. I would think I would feel very weird, probably a little lost. But I don't know. I haven't really thought about it before. And I don't really think about it because it's not something that I really see happening.
A couple of things here. First off, I don't trust anyone who wears a baseball cap with no logo on it. That's not in my nature. I think that's odd. Brad, the rest of the fit looks great, but what are we doing there? Second, it's not surprising to hear Brad Marchand say that. And at the end of the day, I doubt the Bruins are going to trade him. But honestly, I think he's the best trade chip they have. I think it makes a ton of sense. You're not going anywhere. You're not even making the playoffs, let alone challenging for anything, right? You're not challenging for the Eastern Conference, which is pretty wide open. You're not even in that discussion. Every team is still in this thing. So actually, this would be a good year to say right now, make a tough decision for a fan base and a team to say, you know what, we're going to sell off our assets now. Everyone in the East is in it. So if we kind of bomb a little bit here after we trade these guys, get some good draft capital, we're going to get a good draft pick this year. And I don't know that the Bruins are thinking like that. And I know Marchand doesn't want to go. He doesn't say it there, but I'm sure it's implied that hey, Boston's where he wants to be. This is where he spent his whole career. This is his home. His buddy Bergeron spent his whole career in Boston. Krejci spent his whole career in Boston. It's a thing that Bruins do, right? I know there are some exceptions, and Zdeno Chara didn't finish his career with Boston, didn't start his career with Boston. Ray Bourque being another one of a guy who hadn't won the cup, obviously, and gets traded in season 21 in Boston to go and chase that. Here, if you're Marchand, who probably does have a couple years left in the tank, it's not like, Bourque going month to month here. He's probably got a couple years left. He's out of contract. You say, Brad, you're going to get another bite at the apple here. You're going to get another shot. We're going to trade you someplace where you have a shot to go and win the cup again. Second time, that's awesome on a Hall of Fame resume. And this gets thrown around a lot with guys like franchise icons who are on the trading block and could possibly get traded at a deadline in all sports. But there's a real possibility of Marchand going somewhere for half a year and then just coming back. Because we know there's already an agreement in place. There always is with these guys. And there's nothing contract-wise there's no number that the Bruins aren't going to meet, I think, with Marchand right now. That's what made the Chara thing so unexpected, but for the best, was to let Chara walk at the end of the 2020 season. They probably already have a number in mind, and I don't think there's anywhere else Marchand really wants to play. So it does make a ton of sense. It's not something I would poo-poo as a Bruins fan. I obviously love Marchand. I've loved him from day one. I'm not like, oh boy, I get to see Brad Marchand playing another team's sweater. But if you can get something for him, even a first round pick, to lose him for a couple of months that you're not going anywhere and then bringing him back to be the captain again in the summer, Like, why wouldn't you do that? That's not putting a guy out. That's not throwing him to the curb. That's saying, hey, brother, we're going to give you another chance here to win something big, and then you can come back and play for us again and ride out your career in style and get your number 63 up in the rafters. We don't even have to change the years that you played because you're only going to be gone for a couple months of 2025. You know, it'll say 2010 to 2027 on the banner. You don't even have to switch it. It just makes a ton of sense. I know Marchand doesn't want to go, I'm sure. But I'm also sure that if Don Sweeney and Cam Neely sits down and they have this conversation with him and they say, Brad, give us 4 teams. 4 teams that you would want to play for right now. We'll try and get something in return for you. We're going to try and set you up good. And, you know, keep the kids here. Don't sell the house. We'll come and get you in the summer. You know, you'll just bring the cup right back here like Ray Bourque did. Celebrate it with Boston. And then you'll be a Bruin again. Then you'll be the captain again. To me, it just makes too much sense. So much sense, man. And good on DJ Bean, by the way. Like, that is, I hate to give credit for something pretty basic as this, but it's very easy for that to be a slap and tickle fest. But he comes up right away. He's like, you know, after Marchand says it's lip service from fans, he says, you know, but it is realistic now. Most of the other years, it was just like you say it's fans. He didn't say this, but you say it's fans throwing around conspiracy theories. But right now, it makes a lot of sense. And then right after he answers that question, going, well, what would it feel like to be traded? And it doesn't sound like Marchand's thought about that very much. It doesn't sound like it. He says it, and it also doesn't sound like it. But if you're the Bruins, dude, you got to get the sentimentality out of it, especially if it's going to be half a season. Or let's say Marchand feels slighted, and he doesn't come back. And he spends the last 2 years of his career with the Minnesota Wild or the Dallas Stars. Like, is it really that big a change? Are you really becoming the franchise that runs people off? You know, it was one time you traded the captain on a year that you were not making the playoffs. Like, I don't think that's gonna hurt your franchise's reputation too much. The Rangers are right back in the playoff picture. They put their captain on waivers a couple months ago, and they traded a former top 5 pick. So you want to talk about teams that reputations might get hurt? I would think the Rangers more so than the Bruins. So it's going to be kind of this typical Bruins, you know, integrity, passion, class. We're not going to do that. And I think it hurts them because we could talk all day till the cows come home about how you need to trade Coyle and Brazeau and Hampus Lindholm and all these guys who are on expirings or have 1 year left or just have a good cap hit in the case of Hampus Lindholm that you could get rid of at this trade deadline, and they'll net you some good stuff. I think you have to do that anyway. I think you have to trade those guys anyway. But no doubt, the best trade chip that you have is Brad Marchand. Even at, 35, 36. Got another 20-goal season. He plays special teams. He comes in with leadership. His name's already on the cup. He can come in there and be, you know, a middle 6 winger for you and give you goals, give you offense. I know he's not the Brad Marchand of even a couple years ago, but he can absolutely still give you those things. And he could get you a first-round pick. So to me, it's no doubt from the Bruins side whether Brad Marchand thinks he's going to get traded or not. Interested to hear what you guys think. Let me know down in the comments below whether the Bruins should trade Brad Marchand. Please do let me know. And then like and subscribe because over 90% of you that are watching are not subscribed. So give the channel a like and a subscription. It helps us out a lot. Find us live on YouTube, high noon Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcasts. The Cam Show rolls on. 4 nations facing off. It's starting tonight. We'll preview it next on The Cam Show.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internix. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit internxt.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today. Elevate your experience with Grinco Science, the leaders in cutting-edge vaporizers. Whether you're at home or on the go, our sleek, powerful devices deliver smooth, consistent hits every time. Quality you can trust, innovation you can feel. Grinco Science. Take your vapor game to the next level. Visit us at grincoscience.com. At Terrapin Ridge Farms, they believe in the joy of effortless entertaining. Inspired by CEO Mary O'Donnell's mom and her legendary holiday parties, they've crafted a line of gourmet foods that turn any meal into a celebration. From savory jams to mustards, aiolis, and more, their products are made with love, bringing unforgettable flavors to your table. Whether it's a casual get-together or a special occasion, they make it easy to impress. Terrapin Ridge Farms, where great food and great memories come together. Visit them at terrapinridge.com. Terrapin Ridge.
Do you ever have a story that you just can't get out of your head?
One that you play the details of over and over with your friends?
Well, you've come to the right place. I'm Claire.
And I'm Susan.
And this is Justice Pending,
a weekly true crime podcast where we discuss tantalizing crimes with more questions than answers.
Thanks for joining us.
Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Combine that with OrganicHemp.com's top quality CBD for ultimate balance. Start your healing journey today at GlobalHealing.com and OrganicHemp.com.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
It all began with a simple idea, cutting handles off old ski sticks to create better pull-up bars. This sparked the creation of the revolutionary Engels 90 handles. After testing over 70 prototypes with 300 athletes, our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Ready to bring your vision to life? At Small Rig, every idea, design, and product is inspired by you, the creator. With our industry-first under co-design mode and the Dream Rig free customization project, we unite with global creators to turn big dreams into reality. Whether it's a cage rig or mount, Small Rig's versatile gear is built to elevate your craft. Small Rig, where your creativity meets our innovation. Go to smallrig.com.
Unlock a world of convenience with Mullybox, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. Each box is tailored to your tastes. Experience the joy of surprises. Subscribe today at mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com.
We are back. It is the Cam Show. And Zach Burke, it's happening. It's time. 4 nations facing off. And who better to lead our great nation into battle tomorrow night than this Captain America? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Honestly, not enough forehead for me. Not enough. The great headshots. Also, I don't know if you can see this, Zach. Remember how I got the jersey and I was kind of pissed that it doesn't have the Captain C on it, but I kind of went with it anyway. Look at that. Can you see the outline of that Captain C?
I see it
right there.
Yeah, I see it on his jersey. Yeah,
that looks pretty good.
That is a lot. That is so much forehead, though.
It's a lot of forehead.
As a guy who has a lot of forehead, I'm glad I don't have that much forehead.
Trust me. Look, we're still going, man.
Yeah, I get it, but his is just like, it's kind of like that. It looked like those thumb people from Spy Kids.
The poor guy, man. It's
mean,
such
that
a
makes
weird,
sense.
it's such a weird situation to be in. So he has like this horrible hairline, as you literally can't really see in that. That's a doctored photo. I don't know if you knew that.
Wait,
Zach.
it was?
Yeah, not
Oh.
gonna believe that. But like he's kind of added some longer hair. Like he's clearly gotten some hair treatment in the last year. But
Oh, hold on. We have the one from there.
yeah, okay, so that doesn't look bad. It's still a pretty big forehead, right? That's still a bad hairline, but it looks fine.
Yeah.
But what's just funny is he's like one of the faces of the sport, and he's super rich, and like they can't get that figured out.
After a while,
It's like Cal Ripken, man. Like,
well,
you know,
that's the thing.
he can't ever have not like he always has gray hair,
yeah.
and he's rich. Like
After a while, I just think that you don't care. Like you're cool with what, like the one that always that I would hear about that would be like, Will Ferrell has made so much money. Why hasn't he fixed the bottom row of his teeth? And about that time, I would just look at people and be like, he can do whatever he wants to, man. Like that's
I
the
do.
thing.
I'm not gonna lie.
Whatever he wants to.
I do think of that one a lot as someone who has a terrible bottom row of teeth and not a very good top row either. That's the first thing I know I bitch about my hair all the time. That would be the first thing I would fix if I was rich, is my teeth, and then the hair right afterwards. And then I would have spray painted abs, but like, or I'd have some muscle mass, right?
I think you can get them to like install, like they just cut you open and like, you know, add abs to you. I don't think they spray paint them on.
Dude, I think if I was rich, like rich people, I feel like it's so easy. Like I'm talking about like the professional athletes, especially.
Yeah.
Like it's so easy for them to eat healthy. Like you just have this select few, this 1% of chefs that are really fucking good and also make healthy stuff. Like it would be so easy to be in shape if you were rich.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, obviously, when it comes to the working out stuff, like you would still have to put in the work there to do that.
You do. If you eat that healthy, bro, you just like do the Peloton. You do like a 30-minute Peloton ride, do some abs, or like you don't have to. You're not gonna. You might not be fucking hugely ripped, but you're in shape. You look good.
I have had the thought that like if I weren't in charge of like having to do like feed myself, which sounds like a weird thing to say, but I mean like. If I didn't get off work exhausted and be like, man, I didn't make anything for dinner tonight. Oh, I'll just swing by somewhere or I'll throw this together. Yeah, it's not great, but it's something for me to eat tonight. Like if I were able to go home and there was a chef that's like, oh, I worked and I prepared all this for you. Like part of me feels like I could eat a lot healthier that way because I'm not going to show up and somebody give me food and I'll be like, you know what? I've decided I don't want to eat that salad you made for me. Like, no, it's there. I'm going to eat it. Like,
I actually, I'm gonna order McDelivery. Actually,
yeah. Oh man, thanks for this healthy like grilled fish and green beans and veggies that you steamed for me. But I'm gonna go pick up a Whopper. Thanks.
My girlfriend was saying this the other night, and I totally agreed. Was like, she said, I wish I was one of those people that like craved a healthy thing.
Yes.
Like, you know, someone who could look in the cookbook and be like, oh, it's good. Ooh, I'd really rather have this than ordering pizza or fast food, like because there's such a small population of people that actually think like that. Most of the time it's having to tell yourself, no, this is the right thing to do. You're an adult. You have to be healthy at some points. Like we did get McDonald's last night. But it's like, I've never been in that scenario. Even when I was getting good home cooked meals, like growing up, we didn't eat out a lot at all, but it was like, of course, I would rather have chicken fries from Burger King. Like, of course I would. That's no question. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway.
You'd rather not healthy chicken fries.
Canada plays tonight. They play Sweden. Oh, I was going to get your take on that.
Oh, okay. No, my bad. I'm sorry. I thought you were going to go into a preview.
All your predictions, actually.
All of them right now for the whole tournament?
So, it's a round robin, right? So they're only playing like 4 or 5 games. I'm still trying to figure out how it works.
Each team play everybody, so it'd be 3 games for everybody, right?
Yeah, but then you have a championship game. So I guess you take the highest points, and yeah, actually that would be great. That's a good producer task. Could you actually look that up for me and make sure I'm getting that right? I think it's 4 because I think Matthew Tkachuk said this is going to be 4 game 7s, which it kind of has to be. I mean,
here's the schedule. So right now, according to them, like you said, Canada, Sweden tonight, USA, Finland tomorrow. Nothing on Friday, and then Saturday it's a doubleheader of Finland and Sweden at 1. Well, I say doubleheader. There's hours between, but Finland and Sweden at 1 noon East or Central, and then USA and Canada that night. Then
does it say on there where the teams are playing?
Like what venue? It
Yes.
doesn't necessarily, but I'm sure if I click on
Okay.
tickets, hold on. If I click on tickets here, it's going to show me the venue.
Yeah, it's only Montreal and Boston, and I know the USA Canada one's in Montreal, I think.
Yeah. So, okay. Oh, so they're doing it by week. Okay. So I figured this out now. So everything up until through Saturday is all in Montreal. Then on Monday,
Okay, so all those 4 games.
all the 4 games starting tonight are being played in Montreal. Then on Monday, we have Canada versus Finland and Sweden versus USA. Those games are in Boston.
And that would mean the championships in Boston.
Well, there's also a game then. I'm assuming how they're going to play it. It doesn't show on the schedule here, unless let me go next. Oh, there it is. The way they have their website set up is weird. There is a game then on the 20th that I'm assuming would be the championship game. So everybody's playing that round robin in Montreal this week. And then on Monday in Boston, the teams play. And I'm assuming the winners of that will play in that championship on the 20th, which I think
that would make sense. Yes. So 4 games to win it.
Yes. But I don't think that the championship's going to be decided until that game on Monday. The game's on Monday.
Yes, correct. Who's in it? Yeah. That makes a ton of sense.
But so we could get another Canada USA for the championship then too. We get it Saturday and then get it again on Thursday if Canada beats Finland and the US beats Sweden.
Wait, is it US Sweden on Monday?
Mm-hmm. The Monday games are Canada, Finland, and Sweden US.
So then okay, so that would determine who's in it, but it's not a semifinal.
No. Well, okay.
You have to play the other 3 teams.
No, you're right. That would be the third game for the US.
Correct. So that will decide who's in it, but it's not like I'm thinking of it as a semifinal.
Sorry. I made that up. That's not a semifinal game. Monday is the last of everybody playing everybody in the round robin.
But essentially, so this is what it's going to be interesting is like.
So is it like group play then, and then they're just taking the top 2 then out of it? I guess that's
yeah. But I'm like, with 4 teams, I guess if it was like more teams, you'd run into this problem. But I guess there's going to have to be tiebreakers. There's going to be like goal differential tiebreakers and such. Because you see that in the World Cup all the time, and they only have 4 teams in a group. I was so into this, and I don't even know the format of it.
It is, but now it is very much World Cup. It's like it's group play. Everybody's playing everybody, but instead the knockout stage is just one championship game between the top 2 teams. Yeah.
Now, the World Cup of Hockey in '96 did a 3-game series, which I think is pretty cool. But in the middle of the season, I get it. You got to do.
So, the U.S. would have played Sweden in a best-of-3 series kind of thing to move on, or
no? Only the final was a 3-game series.
Oh, okay. So then whoever came out of but how long would you?
And it was a weird setup because it was the U.S. versus Canada, and the games were split between either Toronto or Ottawa, plus Philadelphia. I think Boston might have had a game in Montreal. And so in the final series, the first game was in Philadelphia, and then the next 2 were in Montreal. And the road team won every game. The last time the U.S. won major hardware in a best-on-best tournament.
Is there going to be hardware for this thing?
Yeah, they unveiled the trophy. It looks pretty good. It's just all about how seriously these guys take it, which I think they will, and I think the hockey world is getting behind it.
I'm looking this thing. I want to try to see the trophy then. Oh, okay. No, that's not it.
Not bad.
That's AI made, the one I found.
I think this is the image that's going to be on the trophy, actually. As he's the first one to lift it. If the U.S. wins it, I think this needs to be somewhere on the trophy for years later.
It doesn't have his name. It just has his picture like that. Oh, I've seen, man, that thing is massive.
Yeah, it's pretty big, man. Hockey likes big trophies, brother.
They do like big trophies. Well, the thing that I always appreciated about the Stanley Cup, though, was that the rings, like obviously for all the teams there, like it adds to it. So there's a reason it's so. Right?
I don't know how much bigger it can get. But yes, you're right. You're right. They added a new ring.
They have to start over. Like they retired that trophy and it just like sits in the Hall of Fame, and then they do like a new one that's a replica, but they start the rings over again.
Yeah, I don't know how they would do it. I know There are some names on the inside of the Stanley Cup.
Oh,
in case you didn't know that.
I didn't. Why?
I forget the exact reasoning. It was some in the early days, and I think it was before they wanted to add layers to it. And it wasn't just in a professional, because this is pre-NHL. It wasn't just like a professional hockey trophy. In fact, for a long time, it was very amateur. So it was like a challenge trophy. Anyone could challenge for it. It was like the belt.
I gotcha.
So I don't remember exactly why, but I do know there's some names
show up
inside
in
the
a
Stanley
weird
Cup.
Canadian town and with your.
That was me. That was our doorbell. Someone's here. I don't know. I got to wrap this up anyway. I think the U.S. is going to win this. I actually do. Like, I think they're the best team.
I'm with you there.
Top to bottom. And they have the best goaltending, which is going to matter.
USA.
So I'm in USA. All right. I gotta deal with this shit. This guy's going to keep doing this and the dogs can get riled up. That's the Cam Show, high noon Eastern time, every weekday. We'll be back tomorrow and then wherever you get your podcast. We'll see you then.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internex.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today. Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Tusains, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Committed to excellence, we adopt a user-centric approach guided by ergonomics and medical science. With a team of seasoned professionals in R&D, design, and manufacturing, we prioritize quality across our entire product line. Visit Tusains.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com.